Hello, I'm happy to share a new feature with you today for Visum Publisher. It's called On-the-Fly Scenario Comparisons. And as you can see on this dashboard, we have 3 maps and plus a picture. On the first map, this is the 2030 without new bridge map. And you can see that there's one spot on the bridge that is bright red, and that has a lot of volume. If you hover over it, you can see that within this analysis period, there's 5,111 vehicles on this bridge going across, at least on one side, and then on the other side, there's 5,043 vehicles on that bridge. So that one's bright red in the without bridge conditions for 2030. And then on this map on the right-hand side, we can see that there's a new bridge that is added across the river. And because of this new bridge, some of the vehicles would use that bridge versus the old existing bridge. And you can see that there is a drop in vehicle volume traffic. So now we're down to 4,299 vehicles crossing this bridge. And on the other side, it's 4,300 crossing the bridge. So there is a little bit of vehicle drop. But it's really hard to compare the differences between these two scenarios without the bridge to with the new bridge. And so we developed a new feature called the on-the-fly scenario comparison feature. And with this feature, you can take these two scenarios and then calculate the difference or kind of aggregate the results together. So how does that work? That's this map down here. This is the completed product, where you can see in blue, there's no change between the two scenarios. Green is showing a decrease, so you can see that there's changes in the vehicle flow here. It's -44 in this case for this particular link. And then red is showing an increased change in the vehicle flow. So these links that I'm highlighting right now have about 481 vehicles added to that particular link. Now you may notice that the bridge is not here because when you're comparing the two scenarios, you need to have the similar geometry between the two. So we are just looking at more or less the existing links that are in both of the scenarios. But yes, with this tool and in developing this, you can see the differences between the two networks quite easily, and it makes it really simple to compare what's happening on and off this bridge. Now let's zoom in a little closer to the bridge. You can see when I highlight over here, the difference is, it's about 812 in one direction and 746 in the other direction. And this is actually decreasing since this is green. And that's what you're seeing up here. Without the bridge, again, we were 5,011. And then with the bridge, we were down to 4,299. So that's giving you the same answer when you look at the differences across the different scenarios. Now, how did I do this? I'll just show you how it's set up. Within Publisher now, you click on the map widget area, and now we have this new box for calculation settings, and you can use this for whatever layer you have within the map widget. And you would go ahead and click on the calculation settings, and it pops up a window. And within this window, you can first name the calculation here. So in my case, I'm calling this calculation changes within the vehicle flow. And that's the name that will end up being on the legend or for the attribute pop-up that you have within the map. Then you would set the first attribute. So this is kind of like the main source attribute that everything will be compared to. In this case, I picked the new bridge because I want to see what is being added as a positive. And that's what I picked first. So I picked that data source from my data source list using the dropdown. And then I went in and I picked the attribute that I wanted to compare to that data source. And this is the volume of the private vehicles in the analysis period. And then I selected the operation that I wanted to have in this comparison. In this case, it was the difference, but you could also sum together the two scenarios and see what the total would be. You can do some multiplication and some division if you want to develop some sort of factor or something like that between the two scenarios. So those operations do come in handy. And then you pick the second attribute. So this would be the other scenario, and in my case, it was the scenario without the bridge in 2030. And I picked the exact same attribute here to compare the difference between. It doesn't have to be a different attribute. Again, if you wanted to develop a factor or do some math or multiplication, you can pick different attributes and put them together. But I would say what's important is probably picking a very good calculated value name so your users and viewers will understand exactly what you're doing with that calculation. And then when it's all said and done, I would go ahead and click the calculate button. And when I do that, then the map would be calculated as you saw below right here. Okay, and then after you have all of the calculations all set up, you have your dashboard all set up, you can put in any text boxes or notes or fields to help explain what you're trying to show within your dashboard. You can even put in pictures into your dashboard. Right here, I do have a picture of the bridge location for the new bridge to better communicate kind of where that is, what that looks like. After I have all of that set up, I can go ahead and then share my dashboard with viewers. I can click on that icon. I'm able to have that dashboard be shareable to team viewers, and those would be people within my team, within my subscription, that are invited to the team, and they also have a login, so it's a little bit more private. Or I can actually share it with the public. And if I click the public link, you don't have to have a login for publisher. Anybody then with that link could then share that on social media or something like this, or on a website, and then the viewers would be able to access it without a login. So I'm going to go ahead and just show you what that looks like. I'm going to click the copy link button, and you see I have the message that says the link has been copied. And I'm going to jump over to social media. In LinkedIn right now, I'm going to start a new post within LinkedIn, and I'm just going to paste in the link from publisher. And when I do that, you can see that now LinkedIn is actually doing the social media preview for my dashboard. And when I post this will actually be something that is clickable for users to kind of follow and then review your dashboard. So I'm going to go ahead and post this. And when I post this, I scroll down. Here's my dashboard right here. And like I said, I can go ahead and click it. And now you're going to see what the public view looks like for this dashboard. The widget window you can see is now missing. I didn't have to sign in to access this. So this is what public viewers will be seeing with your shared dashboard. All right, thank you for watching, and I'm glad to share this new feature with you.